top of my wish list. You know how, people would ask me, is there anyone out there in the world that you still haven't worked with, that you'd love to work with, and Michael was always that person. And one day I received a telephone call from him at my home, and he simply said, Kenny, it's Michael, and I want to work with you. And we did. Off and on for 23 years. And whenever Michael called me, which he did for Dangerous and History and a number of other tours before we came together for This Is It, whenever he would ask me to join him on an adventure, I would always say yes first, and then figure out how to make it happen after. Because whenever you worked with Michael Jackson, you ended up on the other end of the adventure having been somewhere that you had never been before. You grew as a human being, you grew as an artist. It was the most unimaginable experience that you could think of.
As the rehearsals went on, and we saw the auditions, and then there's the reality. Here is the cast, here are the musicians behind, here are the singers, the whole thing.
All selected by him, all selected by Michael.
Was it daunting for you? I asked this question in the dressing room and you laughed, but I'll ask it again, because I would have had sleepless nights. Did you have sleepless nights?
Tommy says it in the DVD in the bonus, one of our guitar players who played with Orianthi, who was just beyond. Tommy says, every morning I woke up, I opened my eyes, and the first thing I thought of was, I get to go to work with Michael Jackson.
And when you talk about Orianthi, and because you've got Shannon as well, this is a very Aussie song.
Is he unbelievable or what?
Yeah. The tragedy that happened, you were about to really pack your bags, go to London, and commence a 50-odd concert tour of England alone. The tragedy of the death, then you were asked to oversee the funeral, which must have been hard. And we won't go into that because that's very personal. But then to be asked to do the film on the DVD of This Is It. How hard was that?
The hardest thing that I've ever had to undertake ever in my life, ever. It was not something that I imagined ever doing, nor something that I wanted to do, and when I was first asked, my answer was no. I could not imagine having the emotional distance to be able to sit there and look at this material. The only way that I got through the memorial was because of the incredible strength of the Jackson brothers.
Which, I might add, was the most dignified as broadcast. It was just, and all I can say, I said it to Jermaine last week when I had dinner with Jermaine, and our special guest, who you all know, Jackie, and to you, it was so beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, what enabled us, and when I say us, we really were a team. Travis Payne, our choreographer, Michael Bearden, our musical director, there were so many people from the This Is It tour that Michael had selected that came over and became supportive and sponsored and passionately helped us make this film. But the biggest way that it was possible was to just keep the fans in our minds and in our hearts. And every single day, we did two things, always. We brought Michael into the room with us, and we thought about the fans, and that's how we made this film.